In Part 13 of Module 10 on budgeting and sustainability, we discuss budget reforms. Over the years, state and local governments have tried to use various techniques to manage expenditures more effectively while accomplishing goals related to good governance. In many cases, budgetary techniques have been driven by partisan politics, and these techniques have proven to be myopic in design and self-limiting in execution. At times, attention has been focused on the input side of budgeting, essentially tightly controlling spending as a method of increasing efficiency in the budget process. Spending control has been attempted through state-level debt limitation measures and through the use of the executive line item veto. At other times, some states and local governments have focused on the output side of budgeting through control of public spending. Finally, the methods by which services are delivered have also been related to the budget process and the promise of more efficient and effective budgeting and related policy outcomes. Debt limitation measures are commonly found at state and local levels. Most states and virtually all local governments require that annual budgets be balanced. Revenue and balanced budgets could be in the form of tax revenue or revenue from bond issuances. Both forms of revenue are monitored and approved by state and local governments. Debt issuance limitations prove to be very important in maintaining a long-term rational budgeting process. Another method of controlling the input side of budgeting is the executive line item veto. The line item veto is the power of an executive to strike or cancel specific provisions of a bill, usually budget appropriations, without vetoing the entire legislative package, and it is subject to a legislative override. Performance-based budgeting is an important part of connecting expenditure to outcomes. Performance-based budgeting is a process for budgeting that links requests for resources with documentation illustrating the outcomes of budget choices made in previous years. Performance budgets are potentially critical to long-term sustainability goals, despite the significant amount of time and effort necessary for their preparation. Documentation on previous performance must be linked with previous expenditures and then tied directly to justifications for future expenditures. Finally, the contracting out of government functions is frequently hailed as a method of reducing costs and creating better public sector budgets. Contracting out means that private sector providers are paid to accomplish certain government functions, and the government discontinues its direct delivery of services. Some conclude that contracting out cannot be equated with better budgeting because contracting authority and costs are often hidden within program or agency budgets and are largely invisible to most decision makers. This observation suggests that contracting should become a budget line independent of agency or program general funds. In this way, contracting out would become more visible and its outcomes would be better understood. In Part 14 of Module 10 on budgeting and sustainability, we'll discuss 5 key areas of future state and local budget needs.